Hey, Keep Singing members. It is the second Tuesday of November of the month. And let me get this off my face. I'm going to be doing some singing, so I wanted to put the pop cover on there on the microphone. Okay, hello, hello. Hope everybody's doing well. It's a beautiful fall. I don't know about the rest of you, but here in the Chattanooga area, we have been slammed with a capital S, capital L, capital whatever, you get the idea, with allergens, like crazy amounts. I know y'all have heard me talk about that before. Um, it just seems like every time it happens, which is several times a year because of the vast variety of flora and fauna we have here, it's a little on the crazy side. But every time it seems like it's just a slam, and all my students start clearing their throat and hawking, and everybody I know is dealing with postnasal drip. I mean, there are the few, the lucky, the super ultra blessed who are not dealing with it. They don't have reactions to every single time. I feel like I get slammed almost every single time. So you know I am keeping a massive track on my immune system and keeping my nasal passages clear and trying to keep daily with my sinus rinse and get all those pollens and whatever out of my sinus passages so that I don't have the reaction in the first place. And so then it doesn't go into my head further up and get all congested and all that yucky stuff. Okay, today I'm kind of I'm not dilly-dallying. I'm seeing if anybody pops in with a question. Today is Q&A day. I didn't get any via email. I know y'all have questions though, so send them my way. Q&A at keep-singing.com, or you can also send them to info@ahighernote.com or to natalie@ahighernote.com. Any of the above will get to me. So please don't hesitate. If you have a question, someone else has it too. I want to address it for everybody, like as best I possibly can. So, all right. In the meantime, we are going to launch a series, a training series on increasing range. We're going to have 4 parts because that's kind of how I roll. By topic, trying to do like cover it well, not just do like a slam dunk hacks. I want you to have fullness, probably ad nauseum. You might be like, okay, Natalie, I get it with the whatever, fill in the blank. But hey, it's who I am and it's how I teach, and I want you to have more information than less, and I want you to have full singing skills, not just give you hacks that you could get from anyone on YouTube at your own risk. So I want you to have the full, as much as I can give you, knowledge and training. Okay, let's set our little timer here to keep me on track. Set for 25 minutes so I don't go on and on and on, which I may or may not do from time to time. All right, so today we're going to, in launching our series on range and increasing range. Most people are interested in increasing range. Today we're going to talk about how to prep your voice for working on your range, okay? Don't just try to start launching on, like, you know, you wake up in the morning and you start going, can I hit this note? I mean, you might be able to, but you are absolutely not gonna have the best quality of sound and the best feedback to yourself. You're not going to have the best knowledge of yourself and your capabilities unless you prepare your voice. So that's what we're going to talk about today. preparing your voice well for working on range. So if you're using, which I hope you are, using your little worksheets on your designing your own daily vocal practice, then you kind of picture that circle with the X in it. I'm hoping you will already do some type of body warm up, like just get your heart rate up for a little while. You could go off in a corner or wherever and do 20 to 30 jumping jacks. You could even do like 3 to 10 push-ups on your knees or on your toes, doesn't matter. Whatever gets your heart rate going. For me, for push-ups, it's about 3. My daughter can do 35 on her toes, but she's a gymnast. She can also pull herself up to the ceiling of the gym on the rope. Okay. I can't. So anyhow, whatever gets your heart rate up. I even have on my YouTube channel, I have, I don't remember what it's called. I will link to my notes here, the vocal body warm-up routine. And I got it from this old, like literally about 20 years ago. I did a Beachbody workout. It was one of the very first ever Beachbody.com. There wasn't even a Beachbody.com at the time. It was still just Beachbody, no.com, forever ago. And I remembered it. Hallelujah. Just this warm-up routine that this woman did, Debbie Severs. I can't even believe I remember her name. She did a great warm-up routine that just kind of flowed for my body. I recorded that for my voice students because it's quick and really effective for getting me just enough warmed up. I wasn't sweating, but just getting my body going. So I'm going to put a link to that in the training page today. So I hope that you will warm up your body in whatever way you choose. You can even walk around the block at a brisk pace. Take your dog for a walk. Let your dog benefit from your voice training. Let your cat, you can carry your cat, for 10 feet as long as your cat will let you carry it. Whatever. Okay, moving on. But before you start working on your range, you need to warm up your body and your voice gently. You need to do that first, and you need to do it every time. And I feel like I've given you some type of, rationale for why. You want to have the best opportunity for your voice to perform at its best, and you also want to get the best quality feedback on your voice. And if you're just launching in on a cold voice, you are not going to get the best feedback on your voice. You're going to hear or record stuff that isn't really what your voice can do. That's not everything your voice can do because it's not warm. Your voice, 100% of the time, 100% of the time, can do more and do better when it's warm than if it's not. All right? So for those of you who have been just like jumping into leading worship or going to choir practice, and maybe your choir director does not do a warm-up set, you are not helping yourself, and frankly, your choir will sound better if you will warm up. And if you're a professional and you're not doing that, then shame on you. You're gonna shorten your professional life. So develop yourself a little. I've got warm-up routines all over like there's warm-up exercises. Go and do my 5-day challenge. It's free. And well, everything I have is free to you all, my Keep Singing members, but it's even free to whoever. So you can share it with other people. It's just an automated thing where I teach you a bunch about your voice and a bunch of exercises, some of which you need a piano for or some type of pitched instrument, and many that you don't. Okay, I hope that I have convinced you. The other reason to warm up is if you really start to work toward the terminal points. Now, if you start working at your terminal points of your voice, your vocal range, while your body and your vocal apparatus are cold, you can cause damage. And I don't want you to cause damage, not on my watch. So, and you, of course, don't want that either. So, yeah, warm up. All right. So first, warm up first every single time. All right, a little vocal body warm up routine, links in the notes. All right, so let's do some things to get ourselves loose. What we want to do first is free your voice. You cannot find the terminal points of your range if your neck and vocal apparatus are tight. Remember, the larynx is a muscular instrument at its kind of core. Yes, it does this thing, it's the oscillations that create the sound waves, but how do you think those oscillations happen? There are muscles, tendons, all the kinds of things that make the vocal folds come together. The vocal folds, the edges themselves are not muscular. They're not muscle tissue, but the muscle tissue is at the base of the vocal folds. So, and of course the surrounding area, there's just all these tendons and whatnots that we've already gone in other trainings into the basics, the things that are kind of like need to know things about your larynx. So I will leave that to you to go find that in our training. And yes, but just do know that kind of at its core of its function, your larynx is muscular, and you probably wouldn't, when you're going to really work it out, like you will want to do in increasing your range, you're going to work the muscles, you're going to create load on those muscles, and you are going to fill them, those little tiny muscles, with lactic acid and blood, and you want to do that gradually, but you want to do that. You want to do that. That's what enables the muscles to be able to contract and lengthen and contract effectively and without damage. So you want to be able to do that. So we're going to do some stuff first, just vocally. We're going to free your voice, relax first, just move your head. You can think of moving your chin in a figure 8 or an infinity sign, whatever you want to think of it as, and kind of tilting your head. And notice I'm not doing this fast. I'm doing it slow, and I'm doing it mindfully. You can't see that, but I want you to do that. I want you to think, how does this feel? Where do I feel tightness? You're going to probably hear lots of creaks and cricks and whatever. Now, if you have neck damage, cervical spinal damage, be careful. You be mindful of your own body. I cannot know what everybody's physical conditions are. Generally speaking, without a complete and utter spinal fusion in your cervical spine, you have some mobility in your neck. And so to whatever extent you have mobility, you want to find that mobility and make sure it's free. Another thing you can do is draw circles with your chin. First in one direction, 4 or 5, and then a few more in the other direction. Now, I'm just kind of walking through these. I'm not going to do as many as you might do. Pause the video, or you might just write these down and put them in the order you want them. Use this information. These are tools I am giving you. Put them in your singing toolkit, so to speak. Pull out the tools that you need and make them work for you. All right, so we've done our little chin circles. Let's loosen up the tongue. Tongue is a major muscle. It itself is not a part of the larynx, but the tongue muscle attaches just right above where the larynx is. So they're everything's kind of interactive back there. So let's loosen it up, and we're gonna get to the shoulders in a minute, but let's loosen it up. So we're gonna do our absolutely gorgeous, stunningly gorgeous tongue stretches. Don't do it to the point of pain, but do it to the point of your best stretch. All right, so I'm gonna stick my tongue out forward. So it's basically gonna go down, up, side to side. All right, go. Now I'm gonna do it again, but this time I'm just gonna reverse the order. Another thing I kind of like to do is to put my tongue at the tip of my tongue at the bottom of my teeth and kind of roll my tongue out over my teeth. And really what I'm doing is I'm stretching my tongue up in my mouth. And in doing that, I'm also getting a slight stretch on my jaw. Okay. As you're doing all these exercises, you want to make sure that everything, that the muscles under your jaw are staying supple and soft, and not tensing up. You want to make sure your neck is staying supple and soft and not tensing up. Let's do some shoulder rolls. Good old-fashioned shoulder rolls, y'all. They're good enough for grandma and grandpa. They're good enough for us. I mean, there are some things that don't change. So do as many as feels good and right for you. And I'm kind of going, I'm going to go sideways so you can see. I'm kind of doing big, I'm involving my thoracic spine. I'm actually kind of sort of involving my lumbric spine. You know what I'm a little bit doing? I'm a little bit doing a cat-cowish kind of thing. If you do yoga or any Pilates or anything, or if you've ever been to a physical therapist, the cat is the, you know, think of a cat arching its back like that, and then think of a cow with its kind of sort of saggy looking back like that. So I'm kind of doing that, but while rolling my shoulders. All right, make sure you reverse directions. All right, now we're gonna shake our shoulders, literally shake them up. And my arms are jiggling too, just kind of as a byproduct. Now I'm gonna raise my shoulders up and really tense them up, and then I'm gonna let them drop. I'm gonna do that one more time because it felt so good. So good. And I am doing this to my wrists just because otherwise they're just sitting there getting nothing. So I'm gonna let it drop. You might want to do 1 or 2 gentle shoulder rolls to kind of just let that all go. And a little cat-cowy thing. All right, so that is really good. Let's do a little head tilt. So now, don't yank your head, don't pull your head. Here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna take this arm and just kind of put it out like that. I'm having my wrist flexed like that. I'm gonna leave it down, okay? I'm not yanking my shoulder down or anything like that. I'm gonna tilt my head away from that arm, okay? Keep pretending like your little string, just like we always talk about. Pull up on your little string, keep your singer's posture, chest is up. Lean your head away from that flexed arm. Take the opposite hand, back up a little bit so you can see this, and just put it on your head. Let the weight of your hand, that's all you need. Don't pull, don't push, none of that. Just let it go, let the neck muscles open up, stretch, lengthen on their own. And we get so crunched up when we're hunched over laptops or even sleeping at night. Hold it there, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, whatever. Now I'm gonna let go. Be careful when you let go because you can be quite lengthened. I like to do a few little shoulder shrugs and shoulder rolls after that. I'm gonna flex my opposite arm, tilt, hand on top. Not pulling, not pushing, just letting the neck muscles have a gentle stretch. Oh, y'all, that feels so good. I hope you're feeling good. Right now, take a deep breath while you're here. In through the nose, out through the nose. This can serve you well, not only as this, now let your head come up, little shoulder rolls if you want to. All right, now you might also want to do some chin to shoulder on each side. First, slowly-ish, just to feel that little stretch. You can go a little faster after you kind of are feeling a little stretch and you're feeling a little warmer. If your whole body's a little bit warmed up, you'll be able to do this a little sooner. You'll know, your muscles will tell you. All right. Okay, now, one thing I want y'all to know is watch your shoulder slump, okay? We tend to, well, we all kind of tend to slump, right? That's epidemic. But what I learned is you want your thumbs facing forward, okay? That's what you want. That's your ideal posture. Pulling up on your little string thing, and you want your chest to feel opened up enough that your thumbs can point forward, all right? And you should work on opening up your chest this way. I do have a great exercise for that. If you need it, let me know and I can give it. But fabulous, because I used to have terrible shoulder problems and had to do that. Woo, it was painful for a long time, but now it is great. Slow and steady wins the race. Now, we're gonna do some just little hums. Feel free to close your eyes, totally relax, get into this. We're gonna spend the last 6 minutes doing vocal warm-ups, all right? You can continue. Notice I am not going really high. I'm not going really low. I'm kind of starting where my vocal fry is, just above that. Kind of right into the center of my pharyngeal resonation. So I feel it very much like here, okay? And just let those little hums ebb and flow like this. Just let it be. Relax totally. Make sure as you're going, think about those things we've done so far. The posture, the relaxation of the muscles, all those things. Making sure that your chest is open, thinking about where your thumbs are, and just keep moving your voice. Now let's shift from the closed mouth to ah, ah. Keep going. As you do this, start thinking about where is your tongue. You don't want your tongue to start grabbing to the back of your mouth. You want to keep it forward, not strictly like stiff. Just keep it forward so it's not, the muscle isn't pulling your tongue back. Ah. Keep going. As you start each ah, use an aspirated onset. We have talked in other trainings about onsets. Aspirated onset in brief is starting it with a little breath, like an H. But I don't want you to go like, ah, that's not what we're talking about. It's just like a little aspiration to get you going. Ah, because I don't want this. Ah, that's not just, you're not getting closure. You want closure of your vocal folds, but you want to start it with that gentle onset with the little aspiration. Ah, rather than a fry onset. Ah. That said, if you cannot get closure, if you cannot get away from the breathiness, do a couple with vocal fry. Ah, ah. just with the edge of your vocal folds. And it's just like a little harder. It's harder than you want to do regularly on your vocal folds, but it does remind your vocal folds, hey, this is where you're supposed to be. And so they will kind of self-correct and will get rid of a lot of that breathiness. You want a purer tone, not a lot of breath. So not this, but this. All right, now your next step with all this is, and this is, of course, this is going to be faster for you as you do these exercises because I'm not going to be talking the whole time. This is training time. So you're going to write these down, you're going to do them, okay? And do them as they serve you. All right, so as you're doing them, I also want you to think, is my neck relaxed? And you can even do these exercises with your chin circles or your chin figure eights. Notice again that I am not going super high or super low yet, okay? So little hills. All right, now keep your range, like I said, keep it moderate because you're just warming up. Okay, we're gonna run out of time, of course, but we're just gonna keep going because I can, and you can always sign up when you have to go. I mean, sign off when you have to go. But we're gonna do some gentle ahs on one note. All right, we're just gonna breathe in, expand your rib cage. Yeah, I should really say expand your rib cage, take a tiny breath, then phonate or sing. So I really don't want you to think, take a breath, because people tend to, as we've already covered, go like this. We are relaxing all this, and all the work of breath support happens here and here and here. Here only as it supports here and your lower diaphragm, but your respiratory diaphragm, we want to stretch it out, let this rib cage expand, or not let it expand, make it expand, and do your supporting from there. Keep all this relaxed. Let me get my little pedal here. So we're just going to do one note. When you expand your rib cage, you'll expand your rib cage as I'm preparing the repetition. about where your tongue is. A little bit forward, a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to move into, hopefully you're feeling loose and you're starting to feel like your voice is warming and it's feeling relaxed. You want your voice to feel relaxed. We're going to do some 5-note descending scales. Love me, the 5-note descending scales. We're going to start on a very relaxed ah. Remember, if you are lower voice, you're going to drop the octave. I'm going to play the C4 octave. So here we go on ah. Expand your rib cage. Let's go. Gentle, not forced. Your neck relaxed. Make your rib cage and those attending muscles do the work. Make sure your shoulders aren't getting tensed. Make sure your jaw is not tense. Everything's staying loose and free. Very relaxed. Starting to feel like your voice is starting to wake up for you and to get a little bit more activated. We're going to, now let me say for that one, use that same pattern of 5-note descending scales. If you have an instrument at home, or if you have the little piano app on your phone, or there's a keyboard piano, let me write that down, online piano, link, keyboard app. Want to make sure to give you, links to these things, and so that you can have these resources too. Super helpful. You can sit there basically you could start at middle C, and you could sing 5-note descending scales from there. If middle C is the only note you know on the piano, hit it. But you could start for sopranos 1 or 2, mezzo, if you consider yourself those voice parts. You could start anywhere in the 4th octave. That's middle C to what's considered high C. Altos, you might start somewhere between, you maybe could start at C3. It might be E3, anywhere between there and middle C. If you are, now see, my deal is I have this little shortened piano here. My piano is in the other room. But for tenors, depending on your vocal range, if you're a countertenor, you could be in the C4 octave range too. Depending on if you're a bass baritone, you might start at C2. You might not want to start there. You might want to start like A2 or C3 and and just sing it down. That for me, I'm singing it from middle C. I can't sing C3, but you probably can. And then work your way down. Keep it middle of your range. And then work it back up. Now, the next thing you can do is take the same pattern and do different vowels. We've done ah. You can do e, o, and u. You want to keep the tone pure. So you want to use those Italian vowels. You don't want to use our American pronunciations of a, e is still the same. I, which is because they're so diphthongy. I, o, and oo. You want to keep the tone pure without any secondary vowels. So a, e, o, oo. And just sing them on those strictly pure vowels. Okay, so you could do a whole set on and then a whole set on E, and then a whole set on O and up. You get the idea? Or you can alternate. You can do a whole bunch of them, but kind of work your way through the vowels. Ah, e, o, oo, that kind of thing. All right, moving on. We'll use some octave descending scales or 8-note descending scales, which I am absolutely terrible at playing for, like, the C sharp scale, the D sharp scale, anything that involves a lot of sharps or flats, I'm pretty bad at playing them. I've got key of F and key of G though. And of course, yours and my favorite, the key of C. You do not even have to play the whole scale as long as you have the pattern in your head. See, I can sing it, can't play it. Just do a few more. So you get the idea. You don't have to play all the scales. Although, knock yourself out if you can do it. Get some little piano practice in. You would start somewhere in your starting range octave and just pick yourself a note and then go. Knock yourself out. Maybe play the C scale once for yourself so you can hear that. And notice I've got a little rhythm in my head. You can do it however you want. I've got this little, I can't do, I'm too, not coordinated enough. I would love to be a drummer, but I could never be one. See, I'm trying to do, here we go. I can probably do it with my right hand. Maybe, we'll see. Still working on the left hand. So I'm basically doing, you know, a quarter note, and then eighth notes for the rest. And then filling in the rest of the pattern. You do it however you want to do it, but that's the pattern I use. A little longer on the top note, and then the rest of them are all even. Okay, so pick yourself a note and go. Altos might start at middle C, men, but altos and maybe tenors. Tenors, some of you guys will be up here, but some tenors can sing, literally. The countertenors can sing almost anything sopranos can sing. Like in real, like the actual numbered octave. Baritones and basses might want to start at C3 and go down. Okay, so those are fabulous. You can do them on A. I also recommend you do them in a semi-occluded vocal tract manner, like choose your weapon. You could use a straw, a phonation straw that I have taught many times. So find one of the lessons on SOVT and read up on that. But one quick and easy, you have 3 ways that you can do it quick and easy. Bubble lips, tongue trill, and V, phonating on V. All 3 of those are fabulous. I would even say do a lip trill or a tongue trill or both, and then also do the V phonation. The V phonation I have found is the closest thing to using a resistant straw. So, and you can do it anywhere because you don't need a straw. And you can also change the resistance. The only thing about it is you just want to make sure that the muscles down here aren't getting tight. You'll see what I mean. You're like, what? That's so far. It's all interconnected, all this neck stuff here. That's why if you start to get a tension headache back here, it can end up here, and then go here. So everything's super, very connected with your erectors. The things that keep your head turning well and keep your spine erect. So I do recommend doing some of those 8-note descending scales with some type of SOVT method, and maybe 2 of them. One of those being the phonated V and the other one being a lip trill or a tongue trill, but do all 3 if you can. You can rotate through them. You can do it on the same octave if you want. Etc. Do it 3 times in a row. Or you can, as you modulate to the next one, you can change and rotate through each of them. See what I mean? So you can, and mix it up. Mix it up. No reason you have to do them all the same always every time. Although some people like to just have something that they do, and they don't have to think about it. They can just do it. And if that's you, do it. Do it that way. Write yourself a list, no brainer. You knock it out. The only thing that I ask of you is to be present and be mindful, even though you are knocking it out. Because you are always learning if you are paying attention. You need to pay attention in order to learn. So, and then when you pay attention, you're going to learn. So that really feeds on itself. It's very symbiotic, those two things. You want to pay attention. So don't mindlessly knock it out. Knock it out mindfully. Thank you. All right. The last thing I would say you would want to do to really prepare your voice well for doing range extension exercises is do some more SOVT work, semi-occluded vocal tract work on slides, thirds, fifths, and octaves, those kind of three basic intervals. Much like this, you might do something slightly different, but this would be one way you could do it. Clearly, I'm doing that on one breath. You may not at first be able to do that, but I guarantee you, if you will do those vocal exercises I have taught, breathing exercises 1, 2, and 3 in the breath support section, module, and all the stuff about your respiratory system and la-di-da-di-da, learn all the stuff, you will be able to do this and longer. I had air left over. You will too, but you have to practice it. Don't give up on them. Keep going. So, all right, so let's do one here. And you might pick a different way to do the SOVT effect. You might do your lip trill. Or you might do tongue trills. And you'll notice I'm sliding. I want you to slide. I want it to be easy and flowing. If it's not easy and flowing, you might want to go back and do some of those other things and ask yourself, am I really letting go? Am I letting go? Am I letting all this be free? If not, go back and figure out what it is that is, be mindful, be really present to your body, to use the overused term. Be present to your body. Ask it, what's up? Why are you all stressed out right there? What is keeping you tense? Why can I not relax? And take the time to reflect on that. Ask, where's the tension? Why is the tension there? Really ask that why. Why is the tension there? What is it? Am I afraid of something? Am I afraid I'm gonna fail at this? Am I afraid it's gonna sound bad? First of all, this is vocal warm-ups. You're not supposed to sound great, okay? Most of us won't. Some of us sound amazing out the gate, but most of us don't. But ask yourself, what is it that is causing you to hold that tension wherever it is? Could be in your jaw, could be in your neck, could be in the base of your neck, could be in your back, could even be in your latissimus dorsi, or even in your diaphragm, like tension there. If your diaphragm's real tight too, it's not gonna support your heart rate well. Like, you really want to address these questions, like, and be mindful of these things. So yes, by the time you finish this, which in the end is probably going to be between 10 and 20 minutes, this warm up, it just kind of depends on how you approach it and how warm your body already was when you started. And you're going to be ready to go for it. So in our next lesson, we are going to introduce some exercises that are great for range extension. And we'll talk all about that, like talk all about range extension. I'll probably talk too long again, but hopefully it is not truly too long. Hopefully it's just being helpful, informative, and educational, and that you are going to take this and you're going to use it. You're going to make it work for you, and write it down in the order that it works for you, et cetera, et cetera. Now, granted, I did kind of do it in a way that is progressive. So I would say try to keep it kind of sort of in this order, because it builds in the whole relaxation effect and freeing your voice effect. Yeah, but have fun with it, enjoy it, and remember this is all so that you can sing better and you can keep singing. All right, friends, God bless you. Have a great day. Have fun singing and keep singing.